Hello everyone, today I'm going to be ranking every single Adventure Time villain from worst to best. Thank you so much for all the support I got on my last video. I think I asked for 50 likes for the regular show ranking video and I got like 180.